Welcome to Blueprint Radio. I'm your host, Martin Williams. Here we help you create a blueprint for your life. So let's build. Welcome to Blueprint Radio. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You may do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. All the links to the podcast can be found at guidedexpressions.com/podcast with an S, or wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. So today I wanted to talk to you about your mindset, and specifically why it's important for you to address your mindset if you don't have the things that you want in your life. So there's this scripture in the Bible that says that increase comes by the strength of an ox. And of course, there are a lot of agricultural metaphors in the Bible because of the time that it was written. But the concept of it is very important. If you are going to have a great crop and be able to have a lot of increase in the crop, you've got to have an ox that, is able to tread the corn and do all the things that oxen do in order to make that happen. Now, of course, that's been replaced by machines in this time of our history. But my point is that the farmer can only do so much. The ox has much more ability and much more power than the farmer to do the agricultural task and grow the crops and all the things that come with that. In our time, and what I'm getting to is the ox in this story is the mindset of a person, because we're taught to chase things, people, experiences. But the building of your mindset is probably the most important thing you could ever do for yourself and for others. So what is mindset and what is not mindset? Mindset is basically how we think and our view of the world and our view of what we are living. You can have two people sit side by side, and they have two completely different mindsets, even though they're in the same room. They can come from the same backgrounds, the same city, but their mindset essentially determines their direction in life. One person thinks that life is hard. The other person thinks life is wonderful. One person thinks that work is great, and the other person thinks that work is awful. One person thinks that people are out to get them. The other person thinks that everywhere they go, they meet people that love and want to support them. So your mindset really determines the direction of your life, determines how things are going to go for you. What mindset isn't is your thoughts as far as what you think on a minute by minute basis. You can have a strong mindset and still have thoughts of doubt and indecision, thoughts of defeat, thoughts of destruction. You can have a strong mindset and still have those thoughts. No one has 100% control of their mind, no matter what they tell you on their podcast or on their blog or in their social media posts. But your mindset is essentially the dominant mental pattern of your life. How you think on a consistent basis really determines your mindset. And really, that is the best definition that I found of what mindset is. Now, how do we get our mindset? Most of our mindset comes from how we grew up. So if you grew up around people who were distrusting or didn't believe in growth, didn't believe in doing new things and trying new things, then that essentially became your mindset, and that's what you carried into adulthood. Now, you can absolutely change that, but most people have never even paid attention to their mindset. So they've never thought about changing it. They say, well, this is just how I think and that's how it is, which is true. But at the same time, if it's not giving you what you want in your life, then it's your responsibility to change that. Your mindset goes out and gets the thing that you want, whether it's more financial success, a better job, a better opportunity, better relationships, more health, whatever it is. Your mindset goes and gets it, right? So you've got to change your mindset if you want those things. Okay. You can chase after things and you might get a few things, but over the course of your life, you're going to lose out on more than what you could have had if you do it the way that I'm telling you to do it, which is essentially change the mindset. And as you change your mindset, you change the things that you bring into your life. So how do I change my mindset? The first step is you have to decide what you want. Most people never do this. Most people never sit down and decide, what is it that I want? What type of job do I want? Do I even want a job? And if so, what type of business do I want? And what do I want to do in that business on a day-to-day basis? Who are the people that I want to help? How much money do I want to make? Most people never decide this. And as a result, because you don't decide, you stay in this zone of indecision where you kind of waffle back and forth between different things. And usually that leads to extended unhappiness because you're never settled in one place because you never decided where you wanted to go. So if you want to change your mindset, the first thing you got to do is decide what you want. The second thing you want to do is fix your attitude. Your attitude is a spokesperson for your mindset. You've got to get your attitude on the same page as your mindset. If you had a company and your spokesperson is saying things that you didn't approve, the general public is listening to that spokesperson thinking that they're speaking for you, when in fact they're not. They've gone rogue. They've decided to speak something that they believe, but they're representing the company. Your attitude is what the world encounters. So if your attitude is crap, then the world is encountering crap. And as a result, you're turning people off and you're turning away opportunities because your attitude is not right. You might be in a situation where you're not getting the things that you want. You're not working at a job that you particularly like. You may be in a relationship that you're not crazy about. And all of those things are real things because I've been in those situations. But it wasn't until I changed my attitude that those things changed, right? I first had to make a decision, but then I had to change my attitude because if I was going to stay miserable, I could not get to my desired end. I had to change the way that I thought. And in doing so, and changing my attitude, which is basically my outlook on life, right? I began to usher in the new thing that I wanted. And as a subset of that, I would say find the good no matter how small. There may be, out of 10 things, there may be 8 things that you hate about your job. But find the 1 or 2 things and just continually think and talk about those 1 or 2 things. And as you do that, you create a greater amount of positive expectation, and that power, right? A positive expectation can move you into either a new part of your job that maybe you didn't think existed, or a new job altogether or a new opportunity altogether, but you have to find the good no matter how small. And then the third thing is to start living your reality today. Stop putting off what you know you should be doing. If you want to start a podcast, you need to start it today. If you want to, move into another field, start moving into that field part-time. If you want to start exercising today. Just walk around the block. If you want to, put yourself back out there, if you're single and start talking to people, then put yourself out there and start talking to people. Sure, people might say no, people might be turned off or whatever, but you don't focus on that. You focus on the fact that you're taking steps, that you're taking measurable action to change your life. Too many people are trying to, precipitate a life change, but they're not changing their mindset. They're not taking any action. And then they wonder why 6 months later they're in the same place because they never took those first steps. So thank you so much for listening. If you want to know more about what I'm doing, you can go to my website, which is guidedexpressions.com. Or if you want to work with me one-on-one as a coach, I can do a discovery call with you, a short discovery call to see if we're a good fit. But either way, I want to thank you for listening. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to Blueprint Radio. For more information on Martin Williams Coaching and products, please go to guidedexpressions.com or visit me on Facebook as well as Instagram.